with a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking...
Shut up, fool! There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is Thursday, October 2nd. That's right. Sorry we couldn't be on the air yesterday. Had some software issues. There was all kinds of stuff going on with that software yesterday. We had to get it re-downloaded and re-put up. By that time, it was just too late to do the show. But welcome today. We got a lot to talk about today. We are getting into the weeds. If you've seen the post, you know what we're talking about. We had Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, Stephen Miller came into Memphis yesterday to pay a visit to the task force there. There's talk of an old prison and reopening just north of Memphis to house some of these criminals. We've got the WNBA commissioner telling Caitlin Clark she should be thankful the league exists. We've got J.K. Rowling, one of my favorite authors, going slap off on the hypocrisy of Emma Watson. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to that. And plus, that's all the other stuff on top of that, all the things going on locally. So we hope you're having a great Thursday morning. If you're listening on the app, you can join us in the conversation on the Undefined Radio Facebook page. Just want to listen along, you're always welcome to do that. If you're just watching on Facebook and you want other ways to listen to us, download the free Undefined Radio app and you can take us everywhere. Wherever you're at, you can take us. Pop it in through your earbuds and going about your day while you're listening. So there's a lot going on. But first, talk about some of the things that are happening around us. Batesville tonight, Batesville, Mississippi. They've got their Thursday night Main Street program going on. So that means they've got their music on the square. All right. That will be there. And I believe it's going to be, I'm going to have to check and make sure this is correct here. Because I don't want to be wrong when it comes to this. It's fall concert night. It is Proud Hound is going to be there. That's right. Proud Hound will be there. This is brought to you by Legacy Hospice and Renaissance Bank. Bring a can of food item for the Boy Scouts food drive if you're going to this event. They're going to pink out the square. It's tonight, 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a blast. So go down there, enjoy yourself in Batesville, Mississippi tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night for it. A nice evening. So go down there and knock yourself out. Have a good time and support that great cause. It's also, we got Art Mart this weekend. That's right. That's going to be Saturday, October the 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They'll have arts and crafts, grab food, kiddie train, petting zoo, and so much more. That is Batesville's Main Street on the Square presents Art Mart on the Square. That's this Saturday. Go enjoy yourself and have a good time. And I believe that Cedar Hill Farms this weekend. This is when it starts as far as their haunted festivities go. I believe it's this weekend. I'm going to check to make sure, but I believe it is this weekend. Is when all the haunted stuff starts. So let me just check because I don't want to be wrong about this. Because I absolutely love going out to Cedar Hill Farm. I love the Halloween events. I like the bonfires and the corn maze and all the fun stuff that they have. And they do have so much. So just so we're all clear on this, I do believe that starts this weekend. I'm just trying to get the site pulled up right now. Everything is being slow. I don't know what's going on here, but everything is being slow right now. But also, the Memphis Corn Maze, the Haunted Maze, is up and running. I know that one is live, so be prepared for that. I'm just trying to make sure this thing is right. I did not know. I should have been paying more attention to this because I believe last weekend was the Craft Beer and Flower Festival at Cedar Hill Farm. And I called myself writing me a note to remember that. And I didn't. And that's on me. That is on me. But according to their schedule, yes, the Halloween festivities start this weekend. It's Friday night, as a matter of fact, I believe. Just so I can make sure. Pumpkin patch, corn maze, all that good stuff. Yeah. And you can go on their site and buy your tickets. You can schedule the times. You'll see them on there. If you want to get your bonfire You need to go check that out. You go ahead and schedule your bonfire, so you'll be signed up for that. Your bonfire will be locked in and taken care of, because there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So go check out Cedar Hill Farms at gocedarhillfarm.com. Get all your bookings taken care of for that. A lot going on in the fall. I still wish somebody had an actual Oktoberfest around here. If there is one, let me know. I want to go to an actual Oktoberfest. I just think that would be the coolest thing. An actual Oktoberfest would be the coolest thing to go do. That would be so much fun. And I'm all for that. I'm all for one of those. I had to, we were up in South Haven Tuesday night trying to give blood. Didn't work out. But while we were up there and we were leaving, kind of disappointed, noticed that there was a store up there I'd never seen before. More to the point, an eatery up there I'd never seen before. The Peach Cobbler Factory. So we walked in taking a look, because if it says Peach Cobbler, I'm going. We walk into this Peach Cobbler Factory, and oh my sweet baby Jesus, their cobblers at the Peach Cobbler Factory, they have all kinds of stuff. We even took a brownie home, but it is amazing. That place, the Peach Cobbler Factory, it's right there by CC's Pizza on Sweeney, by Goodman Road and Sweeney, right there in that little plaza. So good, so good. I mean, and they were so nice. Oh, they were like the nicest people too. We spent about 45 minutes in there talking and trying. We ate, of course, 2 different kinds of cobbler, and mercy did they have their stuff on point. It was so on point, so delicious. That's the Peach Cobbler Factory in South Haven, right there by CC's Pizza on Goodman and Sweeney Road in that little shopping center. Go check it out. The problem you're going to have when you go in there is deciding what to get, because they literally have almost every dessert combination you can think of in there. It is so good because they have brownies. On top of the cobblers, they have brownies with cobbler toppings. They've got shakes with cobbler toppings, cinnamon rolls with cobbler toppings. It's wild. You know, I was like, man, we need one of these in Senatobia, but we don't, because I'd eat there every day. I'd be as big as my studio. I'd eat there every single day. That's how good and delicious the Peach Cobbler Factory is. It's so good. It's so good. Now, I will say this. We left. I've never seen a furry in real life. You see them on the news. You see them on YouTube, people talking about them. You do reactions to them. But I've never seen a furry in real life. Saw one Tuesday. Saw a furry Tuesday. That's right. An actual furry. Saw that Tuesday. Blew my mind. Because this girl was young. And I'm trying to say all these things and not be ugly about it. All right. I'm trying to, because I don't want that to be this kind of show. However, the people that were with her, it was way too early for Halloween because it wasn't the first yet. It wasn't even October 1st yet. So I don't believe that's what the case was. There was no costume things around there. I mean, I don't know if the other was dressed like some kind of weird pirate, but not a pirate. Just, I don't know what the thing was. And then you had the furry girl. And she was the only slim one amongst the group. And she didn't look like she fit in with them. But I just, it was like watching a car wreck. And here's the thing. Like, they were parked right next to us. So I'm like, I'm trying to get into my door. I'm like, hey, excuse me, trying to be polite and stuff. And they don't even say words. Right? They don't even acknowledge you. And to me, that was the part that kind of pissed me off a little bit. It upset me a little bit. Ain't gonna lie. I'm like, really? I'm like, you out here looking all furryish, doing your furry things, dressed all weird, acting strange. I'm at least being considerate to you, not looking down my nose at you. Hey, how are you doing? And you can't even speak? Really? Really? It was a weird thing. It was such a weird thing. It was a completely weird experience. It was. Completely weird experience. I mean, that was odd. That was just odd. Which brings me to my first topic. And I'll go ahead and knock this one out of the way. I wasn't even going to talk about that, but since I will do that, we'll just transition. Trans. Okay, so that brings me to the whole topic. So, J.K. Rowling, one of my favorite authors. I mean, she's all about women's rights, but she's not about people pretending to be women's rights. She's about women's rights. She understands the struggle that women have had for centuries, right? To get where they've gotten to today with all the rights they're afforded here in America and all the good stuff. And then this trans issue comes along. And she is dead set against the trans issue about men trying to pretend they women, especially, and vice versa. But it's really the other one. And so the stars that she helped make famous by writing her books, Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, came out against her. So J.K. Rowling gets all these death threats. It was a lot when she came out. This has been going on for about 10 years now, almost. And so they took little passive aggressive shots because J.K. Rowling was accused of being transphobic and all this crap, which is just not true. First of all, this idea of these phobias, when people say you're homophobic, you're transphobic, you're pet phobic, whatever, you're not afraid of anything. A phobia is a fear. Not afraid of any trans people, not afraid of gay people, like they're just going to rub up against you and something's going to happen. There's no real phobia there. All right. It's not a phobia. They keep calling it phobias. It's not a phobia. Like you're not scared or terrified of that. Like you be you. And J.K. Rowling's biggest thing was like, look, these men do not need to be in these women's dressing rooms and participating in women's sports. This is just common sense 101. And if you can't understand that, if you can't understand basic biology, you really need to go to a school that will teach you science. Right? Go take a true science class, not a woke science class that tries to tell you that can happen. It can't. You can cut stuff off all day long. Does not change your sex and who you are. There's only two. And you don't have to agree with it, but you should probably go get educated if that's the case. So that's all Rowling was saying, women power, because women have struggled for so long to have their own stuff, to be able to do women things. We've got so many women's sports now, and to have a man go be a part of that is a slap in the face to these women. I certainly wouldn't want my daughters having to participate and deal with that. And so, because you have Watson, you have Radcliffe, they're all in Hollywood, toting those weird woke lines that Hollywood does because they don't live in the real world with the rest of us. Then J.K. Rowling, who was poor her life. She was poor when she wrote the Harry Potter book. All right, she wasn't rich. And when she wrote that book, it became a worldwide sensation. The movies were made. Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe were both young. They didn't ever have to worry about any of the stuff that she grew up having to worry about. They got these roles as youngsters, not because they were talented, because they looked cute and looked like the part. And they made multi-millions of dollars off of it. And when Emma Watson went on that podcast the other day, talking about how she still loved J.K. Rowling, and the reason that's the case is because it's really started, the backlash on Rowling has really turned around the other way, right? I mean, it's become like, okay, she's not wrong here. So, but J.K. was having none of it. I mean, she was having none of that apology. Like, no, she wasn't dealing with it. She's like, you know what? No. And her quote was, until quite recently, I hadn't managed to throw off the memory of children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big, scary film studio. She's talking about Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Rupert Grint. And it's so wild because J.K. Rowling had death threats against her, rape and torture threats. I mean, it was crazy what her family was having to go through. And Emma Watson was one of those pouring gas on the flame. And now she's going to pretend like she's always loved J.K. And J.K. Rowling had a good point. She said, I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Bam. True. She said, I therefore understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. Again, complete facts. The reason Emma Watson has started trying to backtrack because of this whole condemnation of J.K. Rowling has taken an about face. And J.K. says, and I agree with this, Emma's rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public. But I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. And bam, and there you go. And there you go. I mean, I think my favorite quote was when she says that Emma Watson is too ignorant to realize how ignorant she really is. And that's true. It is. I love J.K. Rowling. I do. I love J.K. Rowling. I love her writing. It's inspired a lot of my writing. But wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. And she's 100% correct here. That this whole trans issue is a thing where people can even try to defend it is wild to me. Because now your LGBs are trying to distance themselves from the T's and the Q's. Right? Because they know how far off the reservation the T's and the Q's are. The LGBs just want to live their life and be left alone, like the rest of us. Stop trying to shove craziness down our faces and put our children and our women at risk. That's dumb. That's dumb and stupid. It's stupid. And so good for JK for standing up and saying, nah, no more. I ain't being silent about this anymore. Your brats are going to learn today. Your brats are going to learn today. And so she did. Now, we'll get to, I want to talk about this other thing, and then we'll get to the stuff that's affecting us right around our area. But I saw this morning. The WNBA commissioner, Caitlin Clark, since coming into the league, the WNBA, the league that everybody forgot even existed, right? The WNBA, which has no relevance at all in sports, despite what they're trying to tell you. They didn't. Look at their numbers. For years, we've had to hear these women from the WNBA say they deserve to be paid like the guys in the NBA. No, you don't, because you don't draw near the money. You don't. That's not how economics works. You can't say we need to be paid just like the men when you're not getting near the TV numbers, near the merch sales, none of that. Your league doesn't make money like that. So why should you be paid like that? You want to be paid like that, help your league make money like that. You know who did start drawing attention to the WNBA? That will be Caitlin Clark. And all that's happened to her since then is they have went after her. This woman has brought so many eyes to the WNBA from people who would otherwise not even pay attention to that league. And yet they're even crapping all over her. Even your commissioner, even the commissioner of the WNBA is trying to crap on the biggest superstar in that league. Saying Caitlin should be grateful she's making all that money off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. Verifiably false. Caitlin Clark was a superstar in college. There is a reason the WNBA was salivating to get her into the league. You know, her base salary is only $84,000 in the league. Caitlin Clark makes all her monies off of sponsorships outside the league. That's where she makes all of hers. She doesn't make it from the league. The league is not her platform. The NBA should be grateful Caitlin Clark is part of that crap league. That's what the WNBA should be grateful for. Instead of trying to injure the girl constantly, instead of trying to put her down because her name is bigger than yours, you ought to be helping to stand that up and make more money. If you want the money, your golden goose is sitting right there. Sitting right there. Instead of embracing that and stepping up to the challenge, saying, cool, we'll ride this out and get this league bigger and we'll all make more money. You do what a lot of things happen and stuff like this. You go after one another. It is wild. That is how y'all do things. Even your commissioner's a moron. Straight moron. Caitlin Clark is your biggest draw. You have historic crowds, television audiences. Your TV didn't even know what the WNBA was. You had to find the channel. I mean, it is wild to me. Even injured, Caitlin Clark's presence alone in that league has brought record numbers of viewers to the WNBA. And what's even worse is you got all these buffoons who are supposedly former pro players, people who know everything about the sport, having the dumbest takes you've ever seen on the whole matter. I remember Michael Jordan. He came into the NBA and set the NBA on fire. And the NBA was trolling along pretty good. You had Bird, you had Johnson, you had a lot of those guys. But when Michael Jordan came in, he elevated the NBA, completely elevated it. Those guys are making superstar money the way they are now because of guys like Michael Jordan. And you know what the rest of the NBA did? They said, what we're not going to do is try to get him out of the league. We're going to ride this. We're seeing what he's doing. We're going to follow that same pattern and make our money and really make this league something. And that's what they did. That's why the NBA is rolling like they are still all these years later, because the formula was set by Michael Jordan. But the WNBA, buddy, no. They are so worried about all this cat fighting going on. And that's what it is. It's pretty childish. That they can't see the forest through the trees. And when your commissioner can come out and say idiotic things like this, what do you really have here? I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb. I mean, it's crazy. And here's kind of the thing, too. Because actually, Napisa Collier came out, and she was talking about it's really not fair that these rookies come in when they're making so little on their rookie contracts compared to some of the veterans. And these rookies are generating so much revenue for the WNBA, right? Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, you got Paige Breckers. All of these are generating all this revenue, and yet they get paid league minimum, really. And that's when Engelbert came out and said that about that Caitlin Clark should be grateful. The only reason she's making that money is because of the WNBA. No, the only reason your revenue in the NBA is doing what it's doing is because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and some of these other ones. Regardless of what you think about them, they are lightning rods, and people are tuning in for it. They are. I mean, you tell me I'm wrong and show me. Show me. If you think I'm wrong, show me. I want to see it. Show me where I'm wrong at, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All right. Before we get into our big story of the day, what's going on in Memphis? Got to pay a few bills to do that. We'll get some love to our sponsors.
First Security Bank is proud to support all area football teams. While you may not win every game, your friends at First Security Bank hope and pray that you stay safe, play hard, and be true to your team. It takes each one of you to play your role in the game, and it takes each one of us to be your bank. Each position on the team has its challenges, but we choose to persevere and win regardless of the numbers on the scoreboard. Make this season your best season. First Security Bank, we are one. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wells Funeral Home and Cremation Service, your locally owned family funeral home and cremation service in Batesville. We love supporting our North Delta Green Wave High School athletics, and we are ready for some football. We are proud of the programs at North Delta and the hard work our athletes have put in. Wells Funeral Home and Cremation Service in Batesville, proud of our Green Waves. We are ready to serve you, and we are ready for some football. Visit our website at wellsfuneralhome.net or call us at 662-563-5700.
North Delta football is coming to you live all season long, thanks to TVI Fiber, proud sponsor of the Green Wave broadcast. Just like our players on the field, TVI Fiber delivers speed, strength, and reliability you can count on. Lightning fast internet, powerful connections, and dependable service. That's a winning game plan every time. From kickoff to the final whistle, TVI Fiber keeps fans connected. Whether you're tuning in from home, on the go, or cheering from miles away. TVI Fiber. TVIfiber.com, built for the community, by the community.
Let Panola Paper Company be your source for supplies for your business or organization today. They can provide paper, janitorial supplies, food service disposables, office supplies, concessions, party supplies, warehouse and shipping supplies, first aid and safety items, and the list goes on and on and on. With free next-day delivery service to most locations, call them today for a catalog and pricing to start saving your business money. Order online at panolapaper.com, panolapaper.com, or call them at 563-5222, 563-5222. Panola Paper Company in Batesville in the Industrial Park, panolapaper.com.
Batesville Civitan Radio Day is here. Civitan Radio Day is November 22nd this year from 8 to 2 p.m. live on Undefined Radio and Q105 FM. Radio Day is the Batesville Civitan's main yearly fundraiser. Civitan Radio Day funds the Birmingham Children's Hospital, the Grace Place, and needy individuals in our area who need a hand up. Most every business in Batesville buys as it gives auction items to support Radio Day. Make sure yours is one of those as it goes to a great cause. It is the fastest 6 hours you've ever experienced on radio. Tune in and place your bids live November 22nd. All right, guys. Memphis. Woo! It's heating up in Memphis. It is heating up in Memphis. Yesterday, on October 1st, you had the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. You had the Defense Secretary, or the War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, and the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller. They came to Memphis in a long parade of vehicles. And they came here because Memphis is rolling out their Safe Task Force, all right? Which means that law enforcement has picked up. I mean, it has picked up, and they put the hammer down on this press conference yesterday. I mean, you had Tennessee's Governor Bill Lee was there. He said, "We are grateful to be a willing partner with these federal agencies. It's a great opportunity," and it is. And Bonnie says she fully supports law enforcement and says they will charge anyone who touches a police officer with assault. She said there's no higher calling than being a police officer. We want cops to be cops again. You can go out there and do your job. Pete Hegseth was talking about how that President Trump was supportive of the city of Memphis. And Tennessee Senator Brent Taylor said, we are liberating our city from the criminal. Make Memphis Matter went to Washington earlier this week, and now Washington comes to Memphis to make Memphis matter. We must make Memphis safe. So the National Guard will be providing security for law enforcement to allow them to safely do their jobs. Listen to that. National Guard will be providing security for law enforcement to allow the law enforcement to safely do their jobs. Stephen Miller said law enforcement has been unleashed to arrest people on any charges they see harmful to the city. It said the task force will take the city back from criminals to families who are afraid to go into certain areas. And we all know that's true. I know some of you Memphians up there are trying to make excuses like, oh, that's not true. That's blown out of proportion. No, it's not. People have been fleeing Memphis in droves because of what is going on up there. Memphis has such great tourism spots. Memphis can be a tourism hub for the South. I mean, just the history of the blues alone there and all the great things Memphis has to offer. But they have let that city go to pot completely. You want to be able to go to hang out on Bill Street and take your family, experience the blues in a safe atmosphere. Memphis, the leadership in Memphis said, nah, we don't need you to be safe. We need our criminals to go out here and just do what they're going to do. And that's crazy because Miller said, look, every resource we have, federal, state, and local, we are going to use to dismantle their criminal networks without apology and without mercy. Everything we have, we are going to bulldoze the criminal element of this city and liberate all the law-abiding citizens in this city. Why would you not want your city to be safe? Why? If you're in leadership and you don't want your city to be safe, what do you stand to make off the criminality in the city? That's my question to you. Because that can be the only reason why you wouldn't want your city to be safe. There's no other reason. There is no other reason you wouldn't want your city to be safe. There's no other reason you wouldn't want these law enforcement officials there. Other than the fact that you yourself are involved in the criminality in that city. Y'all know that's true. Y'all know that's true. And that's a wild thing that that's the facts up there. But it is. We all know it. We all know it. But people don't like saying it. People don't like saying it. But it's the absolute truth. And now I guess y'all heard the that they're opening up a new prison, and they're actually not. So what they're doing is up in Mason, that's going to be a private ICE detention center. I know that one, there's been a lot of rumors going around about new prisons being opened, overrun for criminals and all this good stuff. In Mason, which is just north of Memphis, that's going to be a private, it's going to be like a public private jail complex. It's under construction right now. So it's going to be a 600-bed privately run detention center for immigration and customs enforcement. Yeah. That's what they're doing right now. Because they fully expect, and there's probably going to be some other things when it comes to these prisoners, they fully expect there to be quite the influx of inmates coming. I love some of these left sites. Look, these left sites, like the Daily Beast is the worst, right? Here they go. Here they go. Like this fluff wagon right here. This fluff wagon right here. This is their headline. Stephen Miller shouts unhinged message to gun-wielding cops. First of all, that's not what he said, you idiot. It wasn't unhinged. He simply said, we are sending in real cops with guns and badges to go out with you on the street every single night making arrests. These are people who have taken down drug cartel kingpins, the worst criminal offenders in the United States, standing with you shoulder to shoulder. And this old softy saying it's not fair. You should be talking like that. He shouldn't be talking like that because especially, I'm trying to find the point where he said it out here. Because he had a quote. He had a quote yesterday. And I'm trying to find that quote right now as we're talking. I thought I had this one pulled up. I guess I didn't. He said, we're not here to second. This is what Hicks said. He said, we're not here to second guess you. We're here to have your back, to unleash you to do your job so you come home safely. Our department is here to enable you, law enforcement, to do your job, to help protect your facilities, help protect your people so that your hands can be untied to secure your city. I love it. I love it. I love this. I love the fact they're doing this up there. It needs to be done. You know, the people who are not happy about it, the ones who are griping about it, the criminals, and the criminals' families who sit there and make excuses for the criminals. Those are the ones. Those are the ones making all the complaints up there. Right? Wrong? If I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong. I don't mind. I don't mind. That's certainly my take on it. That is absolutely my take on this. Maybe I'm the one without common sense here. Maybe it's okay to just let criminals run wild. Let your people who are just trying to get through their day and let them get accosted. Maybe that's okay. Right? No, it ain't. It's stupid to even think that way. It's dumb to even think that way. And I know. You're going to say, Chad, you shouldn't be calling people dumb. Look, I was always told not to lie. So I'm not gonna lie to spare your feelings. Not gonna lie to spare your feelings because you sad and upset about something. Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So you better get off of that right now. Because that's not what we're doing. So I got the song I want to play. Because I told you we're going to play some indie music. Every day I'll bring you an indie artist. We'll do something. Because I want you to hear this music. This is from Amber Ray Dunn. I'm Still in Love with You. This is from her first album. And I love this song. It's so good. It's so good. I'm going to play it for you now. And I'll see you back on the other side of this. Here we go. Well, I say that. I guess I got to download it first. Guess I better download it first because my program's been salty. But now you go.
I smoke when I drink. I drink when I'm bored. I'm bored 'cause I ain't got you anymore to help me waste my time. I play guitar and rap, but the truth is I'm still in love with you. I cuss when I'm mad, and I'm mad all the time, 'cause I wasted what we had. Said I wasn't missing you, I'd be bold-faced lying that I've done made my bed. So I guess I gotta lie, but the truth is I'm still in love with you. Oh, the truth is I'm still in love with you. Love is a funny thing, 'cause you can set the sails, but you can't predict the rain. Me, I counted every egg that hatched before it came. And yeah, I'm positive I know exactly who's to blame. I lie when I'm cornered. I'm cornered when I lie. If I'd have just told you the truth, then maybe we can give it one last try. I need a breath of fresh air to play it off like I don't care. But the truth is, I'm still in love with you. Yeah, the truth is, I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love with you.
There you go. That was Amber Ray Dunn, Still in Love with You. Such a good song. And again, if you know somebody who wants their music on the air and they don't get any airtime anywhere else, all you got to do is send them to me, Undefined Radio. Go to the Undefined Radio page, send me a message. Send me an email at undefinedradio@gmail.com. It's undefinedradio@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to play their music. Be happy to play their music. Would love to do that. I love indie artists. I do. Because there's so much good music out there from these local singers and songwriters. And I say local, I'm just mean indie, period. Whether they're here, whether they're in Nashville, whether they're in, I don't care, Oregon, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, just wherever. All right, time for the weather. Time for the weather. It's going to be high near 88 today, sunny. Friday, high near 85, sunny. Saturday, high near 85, sunny. Sunday, high near 87. Monday, though, we have a slight chance of showers, high near 83. And then we're going to have, looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have chances of showers. Highs are going to be in the mid-80s, 84 on Tuesday, 83 on Wednesday. I'm just hoping we get down into the 70s. You keep hearing me say it because it's true. We need to get down into the 70s. I will be most thankful when we hit the 70s because that'll be great. That'll be great. If we can get down there, things will be good. If you want to be part of the prayer chain, please be sure that you go add your name to the list. That's on the Undefined Radio page. And we will put your name on the prayer chain list. Absolutely. We do that every morning at 8:50. Every morning at 8:50, we do that and bring you a message from the great Michael Bates. Always delivering that message from Michael Bates because he has such good messaging. He certainly does. And I know I enjoy it. And from the sounds of it, you guys do too, and I appreciate that. Tomorrow night, we will be calling North Delta Green Waves homecoming game against Marshall. That will be live on Undefined Radio at 7 p.m. We'll probably start a little bit early, maybe do a pregame show, getting ready for that. Finally have a home game. Finally, it's been a while. We have been on the road so much this season. It will be nice to be at home, to be able to see all the great North Delta fans out there. You can watch on the app, and you can listen on the app, and you can listen on the Undefined Radio Facebook page. Look, here's the deal. Sometimes, and we don't have any control over this. Sometimes these apps on the signals on these apps will go out. It's the nature of them, right? We can't control that. So if that's the case, there's a reason why we stream to two different things. So if that app stream goes out, you can still listen to the show on our stream on Facebook. So if that's the case, if the stream goes out on the app, tune in to our Facebook one, and you can listen there. You can listen right there. All right, that's the deal. That's what we're trying to get to you. Trying to make you understand. Just in case one goes out, you have another place to go. We try to make sure that we've got this thing replicated so we don't, all our eggs aren't in one basket. So just in case something happens, as it did this Friday night, about almost into the end of the first half, our stream got a little messed up, but it was still going on strong on our secondary channel. Still going strong on the secondary. So if you're listening there, you didn't miss a beat. We've had great numbers this season, buddy. As many blowouts as it's been, we've still had great numbers on our through all of our streaming. And for those of you who listen to this show, especially all of you who listen through the app, thank y'all so much. We have great numbers on this app. I have really enjoyed the fact that people are there, they're being a part of the show. It's awesome. I really do look forward to getting on there every morning. That's why I hated so much yesterday we couldn't be on there. That sucked. But it's been great being here on there, having you guys tuning in, listening to what we're doing, being a part of the show. Thank y'all so much for doing it. And we're just rolling. We are just rolling. And rolling again this morning, buddy. Rolling again this morning. So thank y'all so much for doing that. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. That is it's a cool thing. It really is. All right, it's getting time. Getting time for the prayer chain. If you want your prayers on there, you want to add your name to the list, go to Undefined Radio. Go to the post. It's pinned up there. And be sure you're including yourself in that post. Be sure you're including yourself on that post. Because we're certainly trying to get as many people on there as we can. But if we don't see your post, then we can't do anything. Right? I can't help you. I need you. I need you to do it this way. That way I don't miss anybody. Really, that's really my biggest fear, is missing people who want to be a part of this. That's truly the thing we're going for here. I feel if we can do that, we're in a good spot. We're in a great spot. All right. So I'm going to get these loaded up here, and then we'll get to our Michael Bates section of this show. Here we go. All right. So what I'd like to talk about on our prayers list, we got so many prayers. So many people are needing prayers right now. I know it's tough and things get tough. There's a lot of people out here going through stuff that you don't even know about. And if you are one of those people going through things, and it's a tough time, never hesitate to talk to somebody. There's always somebody out there willing to listen to you. There is. There's always somebody out there waiting to listen to you. Faith says she wants prayers for awareness for epilepsy. Her 10-year-old grandson is going through that. And there are a lot of other kids who are suffering from epilepsy. So prayers to them. We've got Alan Pounds who says, keep James Burchell, Stephanie Rogers in your prayers as they go through what they're going through. Casey needs prayers. Amanda Grant says, please pray for my son Tristan, who was born premature, is in the NICU at LaBarre. So please keep him in your prayers and keep that whole family in your prayers. Mayor McCall, a buddy of mine, says his family needs prayers. So please keep them in your prayers. John says he needs prayers and against finance and his fight against lust and addiction, and his dad could use some health prayers. He also misses James Burchell in that. And look, these things are real. These fights against lust and addiction are real, and they're difficult. They are difficult. When that sucker grabs you, it's tough. It's tough. And people think they've got no one to talk to, and there's nowhere to turn, and there is. There are people just like you going through this stuff every day. It's hard. I know, because I'm one of those. Billy McLean says, yes, please. I greatly appreciate prayers from my family and me, and you've got them, buddy. And another friend of mine who will remain anonymous, ask for prayers for her and her family, her kids. And that is our daily prayer chain for today. Again, if you have prayers, you want to add somebody to that list, please feel free to do so. Add them on here. Our prayers and love are with you, and may God wrap you in his arms and keep you safe. Now I want to play a message from Michael Bates. I saw this one. I don't remember hearing this one. I don't remember this one, but it's called Grayhead. And I feel like he may be referring to me, especially when I look on this camera and I see all the gray in my head. Seriously. Look at that. Look at that. It's finally got me. It took 55 years, but it finally got me. It did. Maybe that's why I keep my hair shaved on the sides. Maybe the whole reason there. But here we go. Let me play this for you. It's Michael Bates, In View of Eternity, talking about gray head.
Hey, good morning to you, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to In View of Eternity. There was a little girl one time in the kitchen watching her mother wash dishes, and she noticed in her mother's hair there were a couple of really, really white hairs that had appeared that she hadn't really noticed much before. So she asked her mother, Mom, what's the deal with these white hairs? And her mother turned and looked at her and told her, well, hon, sometimes when you misbehave and you disobey me, it really breaks Mama's heart. And sometimes I'll get these gray hairs because of it. So the little girl sat back and she pondered that for a little while. And she says, Mom, why is it that Grandmom's hair is all white? Well, you get the picture. When I first read that little illustration, I thought to myself, boy, the Bible has something to say about gray hair. In Leviticus 19 and verse 32, we are told that we are to stand before the gray head and before the face of an old man. One of the things that a lot of folks have noticed is lacking in our culture and has been slipping for many years now is the respect for the elderly. Many times it may be simply it's not taught at home. I think sometimes maybe we mean no disrespect, but at the same time we get so busy with what it is we feel like we want to do in this moment that we forget to show proper respect to those who are aging. In Proverbs 16 and about verse number 31, the Bible tells us that the gray head is a crown of glory. And so, with anything glorious, you and I should stop, we should pause, and we should be respectful. Never rush by and attempt maybe even to harm someone who is elderly, but the very opposite, give way to them. Stand as a show of respect, as we're told to do there in Scripture, and simply give proper reverence to those who are older than we. You know, sometimes just the smallest little nod of appreciation, the kindest little hand to help where it's needed, can make all the difference in a person's life. And it may do more for you and me than we ever realize. It helps us to understand not to be selfish people, but to honor the lives of others around us. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm Michael Bates.
There you go. Another great Michael Bates moment right there. I love those. I love the In View of Eternity. I think those are really cool. And what an awesome thing to have. I love having this on the show because I think we can all use it. I think there's so much wisdom in those words. And we need a little bit of wisdom in our lives, especially right now with everything that's going on, with all this stuff that's going on. I mean, it's kind of wild. It is. The stuff that we have going on out here in our world right now is wild. People have lost their minds. And I worry that these people are never going to get them back. It's going to stay lost. Because it certainly seems like it. It certainly seems like it. It's, I've lost so much faith in professors at school. I have. The more that stuff comes out, it's like, wow, really? I mean, it's wild. And because once, like this whole thing with Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, everybody thought that was a marriage that was going to last forever. And here they are after 20 years getting divorced. Saying Keith has been stepping out. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Never would have thought it. Never would have thought it. Yes, here we are. Here we are. It's sad. Sad. It's too much. It's too much. You see a complete changing going on in this country right now, and it's wild. It is wild. Like there were reports that like Disney's attendance is at an all-time low. And that's crazy. But again, people are tired of things. First of all, their prices are insane. Like I can't afford to go. And I want to go. And there are a lot of people out there like me who like there are other priorities to go. I've seen people run credit cards up, do all kinds of stuff just to be able to afford it. Get mortgages, second mortgage, third mortgage, just so they can take their kids to Disney World. That's crazy. That's crazy. I just, it's wild to me how outrageous it's gotten. We saw Netflix. A lot of people are losing their minds on Netflix right now. Xbox yesterday lost a lot of subscribers because they just upped their price for no reason. Just decided, well, I'd say no reason. They're trying to make more money, but they're trying to make more money. I get it. But they upped their prices, didn't tell their people, and now people are dropping all their subscriptions. It's sad. It's sad. But that's the world we live in. But what I will tell you is there are lots of alternatives, lots of places you can go visit, lots of things in your community you can go do. When you can't afford to go to these great big concerts, there are so many indie artists out there who are so talented that are around you locally. Go give them a shot. There are parks and there are festivals and there are places locally you can go to take your family and have a great time. You just got to go look for them. They're out there. And the great thing about having the internet is that you can find them easily. So the internet doesn't have to be just one lousy cesspool. There's some good things you can do with it, but it's a choice. It's an absolute choice on what you're going to do with the internet and make it work for you or against you. That's really the thing. What's your choice when it comes to using it? How are you going to use it as a human being? Again, it's all on the person. I get that. But you got to make that choice. The entire world is not a cesspool. Don't let the media fool you, because it will bring you down because you'll think that that's all that there is. I see good people there every day. You be one of those good people. Be one of those good people. Don't continue doing this crap that everybody else is doing out there in these big cities. All right, guys, uplift your community. Be good. Stay safe. I will see you back here tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Brand new show. Same time, 8 a.m. Y'all be safe out there, and I will see y'all then.
I don't want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking.
Shut up, boo. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, sir.